And you may want to, as I say, we used to play the music along with it, and I'm sure you're all familiar with Emoto's water crystal healing music, or the book anyway. Hardback copy, which is not very expensive now, contains 2 CDs that have the music for each meridian in there. Okay? If you don't know what the music of the meridian is, you know, you can decode that by the following. Okay, so you've got the governor vessel, is a scene from Act 2 from the ballet of Swan Lake and so on. So there's lots of bits of music. He's just happened to put certain music together, and he's found that it forms a structure within crystals. And that structure within the crystal is very healing by just looking at the structure. Okay? So you could actually do that. What he does is he plays the music, usually a portion of the music, into water, and then freezes the water. And as it's freezing with the music going in, you develop this crystalline structure. And so I thought, well, this is very interesting, you know, and it just happens there's 14 bits of music, and I thought that fits with the meridians and the colours and so on. So we managed to map it up. So they're nice bits of music, and you play that rather like you do the colour. So if you do the colour and play the music, it's even better. So used alongside the light box, 15 minutes, gives people something to do. Deep massage releases somatic manifestations of subconscious emotional stresses locked into deep muscle tissues. Usually these tensions are in the meridian-associated muscles. So what you'd expect is to find the meridian, which is the problem one, and then really go for those muscles that you know are associated with those meridians. So deep massage has been demonstrated to release endorphins, which is why people feel really good after a nice deep massage. Hypnosis, as we said, can be by regression to past incidents which relate to the problem today. So in other words, you go back into the past and try and see how it is that was set up with the hope that that releases it, or you can implant a new positive emotion over the negative ones. Okay? So that would be done subconsciously. So subconscious emotions, as we did with Anthony, we looked at through the 5 senses and we treated them. Now, back to Christine. Okay, unconscious emotions. Let's just see the end. So here we've got our unconscious emotions. So let's have a look at the different points there. So these will be the lower ones, the ones that calibrate below 200. Okay. So what we're going to do now is, if we could have you back, what we need is the things that I need to put on back on you. Okay, work on that. So we have vitamin C, don't we? And colon cleanse, basically. Let's not put the physical things on first. If you remember, just do left to right and right to left. So we do, well, it was left to right, wasn't it? Okay, now around the other way. So subconscious, she's okay. Now do right to left and left to right. Okay, pull really hard, nothing. Okay, so you say go away, you've got no problems at all. Okay? Now, because we fixed your chemistry out, we did it in the order that we did it. Okay, so we tested her for the subconscious part there. Then we fixed up your chemistry for the right brain and then left brain, or vice versa. And then you go back to that now. So it was left to right, and then she goes. There she goes. Okay. So this is where the problem. So what are the options that we've got here? Now, Christine does not, you know, your 2 meridians that are affected with you were the spleen and the small intestine. These are not real serious negative emotions. These are ones which are higher up, if you like, in the charts. Their calibration is above 200. So let's have a look at some options that we've got. So therapy for unconscious emotions. Her vitamin C and the colon cleanse. Those were the 2 chemicals that we fixed her left and her right brain up. All right? So what I showed you is without those, she didn't weaken to the emotional stress points, but with them she did. So in other words, she wants to be treated in the order. So the order very much was test the subconscious with them, with colour and so on. She was clear. Do the left brain, right brain, treat it, all right? Then go back and see if there's an emotional problem, which there is, but there wasn't to begin with, all right? Because just like finding the parasite, it wasn't there until you fixed the chemistry. Okay? Now you can do it, okay? Now we can talk to her about issues. Maybe for now until the next seminar we could be talking to her, and she may not get any better. It just depends on many issues. Because we know at the back of our mind there's one fundamental issue, isn't there? And that's she doesn't feel lovable. Okay? So, but we haven't told her that, right? She's not listening to us. Okay? Okay, so we might want to think things that could be positive for her in this direction. Now, negative emotions are things that we put in ourselves. So they could be negative self-thoughts. Okay. On the other hand, they could be third party. Now, a third party is particularly somebody projecting a negative emotion to you. Could be somebody in your family, could be somebody at work, it could be somebody from a social point of view. When this comes up, very often people know who it is. But if we find it better not to ask, because once you know who it is, you then may retaliate in your life, and that eats you up as well. So third party negative thoughts. These are what we call, in Russia they call these black programs, so that somebody's got it in for you and they fire it and they fire it. They may not be consciously doing, they've set the program up and they just run it for against you. Okay, so that's the options there. And then it could be the collective unconscious or negativity, the world around you. And this would be your newspapers and your TVs and everything negative, and you can't get away. It's the collective unconsciousness. So let's have a look at these three there. So what we can do here is to challenge. So go back to the reference of left to right, and let's say that the unconscious emotion that's having a detrimental effect on your health is self-generated, in other words, you're doing. Okay, is generated by a third party, is a collective unconsciousness. So the collective unconscious is what Jung talked about. Okay, so with Christine said she's self-generated this. Okay, she's the cause of her thought process. Okay, so what we got? Let's say the optimal therapy for you to resolve your negative unconscious emotion is an affirmation. Now, I don't think an affirmation was going to come up because it's not a real unconscious emotion, negative one there. That's why if it had calibrated one of those below 200, I think then I would have suggested it, all right? Is the frequency of love. So frequency of love works well, is exercise. Exercise works well, okay? Is deep massage. Well, nice, these are not too bad, are they? Meditation. Not a meditator, okay. Being with others. No. That surprised you, that one, was it? Being with others, okay. Sex, especially orgasm. Yep, this is looking good for you. No meditation, lots of love, exercise and deep massage sounds very good, okay. And a walk in the woods. No, that's not where the rest of it fits into the button. Okay, so those are the ones for you. So we can give you the frequency of love, but obviously real love is going to be even better. Exercise, so we can see what is it. Remember, exercise, it needs to be something that she enjoys doing. It's no good giving her exercise which she hates doing. Is there something that you really like doing? Ice skating. Ice skating, there you are. So that's good. Deep massage, you know somebody who'll give you some good massage? Yeah. Yes, all good. Yeah, you've got the answer. We won't go into the others. Okay. Right. So, okay. Now let's you stay there. So, if we go on here, what would we do with somebody who's got third parties? You need to protect them. And this is really important. So we come up with a vital energy protector spray, okay, which is basically, it's got the frequency of the harmony of love. We'll look at that in a minute. And it's got a series of aromatherapy oils in it. We used to put just the lemongrass and then let people prescribe the remedies, but we found actually there was a better way of doing this, that you could actually predict which aromatherapies were going to come in with their constitution. And again, prayer and meditation, they're not yours, or the meditation isn't, because this is not a third party. So if third party is generating, you can't stop the third party generating, you have to protect yourself. And many people say if you protect yourself, and the spray is excellent for that, it'll come back to the person sending it. So they soon stop sending it. When those negative emotions go back, and those negative feelings, are returned there, then it's very good, so they stop doing it. Okay? Now, if it's a collective unconscious, in other words, you're just getting down because of everything. You've lost your job, you've lost your marriage, you lost your home and so on. Everything's getting you down, okay? And then you need to get work on there. So the VP spray again with the love to get you on. Aromatherapy, light therapy. Light therapy really helps here. Okay. It's a Freudian slip, wasn't it? Okay, it really helps. So to boost it up, get yourself out in the light or have some colour therapy. Really, really good on that. Prayer and meditation, walk in the woods again, but very important is no newspaper or TV. Okay? As soon as you stop the TV and the newspapers, you start to feel better. It's amazing, the negative effect of TV. Not just news programs, but all the other stuff in there. And keep away from negative people. Negative people attract negative people, don't they? Then they see how bad everything is. You get two guys or girls in a pub, and they'll start to talk, oh, isn't it bad, this. Be made redundant, oh, I was nearly made redundant, And so it just spreads in doom and gloom there. That's the collective unconsciousness. So those are things you can do as far as helping, improve the mood there. Vital Energy Spray contains 12 gemstone essences and the frequency of the love harmonic and the various aromatherapy oils. That's the gemstones that it contains. That's the frequency 5228 hertz. You can look it up on the internet. That will play you just the 528 frequency, which is what we put in. But on the internet, if you do, particularly with YouTube, you can find some lovely harmonical music there, beautiful, which you can just play in the background. But don't play it in your treatment room or the waiting room because nobody will show to anything. Okay, because the music is so nice, they'll all get strong, and then you'll say, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. Very powerful music, very powerful. Okay, so here's the oils. I think you've got this in your manuals, all right? Okay, so red people, that's you, respond to mandarin, juniper, sandalwood, lemongrass, and rose. Quite difficult to get the rose one because it has to be, we got ours, it comes in from Iran, and of course it's the season, this is the trouble, but many of them get it from Turkey and things. Quite a difficult one to get and horrendously expensive. Green, grapefruit, lime, patchouli, lavender and peppermint. And blue people is sage, bergamot, lang-ylang, geranium and petit grain. So these are mixes, okay? So what we found universally is that red, green and blue people show to these as far as their emotional side is concerned, okay? But it's a mix, and the mix is very different smell from everything else, okay? So it's different from them individually. So you'll find that a red person will like this smell, but a blue one might not. They might say, because it's not the smell for them. So Jill, have you got that, or did you give me a red spray? So this was the final bit. Remember, you find out what the person needs, find out what all the things on them, and the final bit was to spray them. So red, green and blue. So we do the VEP spray, but if you tag or have this VEP spray with the oils already in, it's even better. Okay. Now, remember with the Miron, you must pump it a few times just to get the sprayer. Okay, people don't send it back because you pumped it twice and it doesn't work because it has to build up the pressure in there. And remember with Miron, you cannot muscle test any compound in here inside Miron because it doesn't allow the light through, all right? So very obvious after you can't get anything to work. And we didn't realise that ourselves until practitioners started saying, I can't get any of your products to muscle test. We thought, oh, they work for us, but of course we were using glass vials to test what it is. So you don't put this on the patient because it won't work. It doesn't emit anything, all right? So don't do the spray until you're absolutely happy you've done everything, okay? Because once I sprayed Christine, that's it, and you'll see why. So our markers with Christine are, let's go back, red. She weakens to red, doesn't she, okay? So most important to us, she weakens to saying, I am lovable. Do you remember that? Okay. She's got her left to right problem, and we know that she couldn't hum or count, okay? I think it was it the counting first? Counting first. We sorted that out with the vitamin C, didn't we? And then we did the counting, we did the humming. The humming was second with the gut and the parasites, okay? So now we've got a few markers. So what we're going to do is we'll take the markers off. Shut your eyes. Oh, we've got a fan here. So a few sprays there. Come and sit. I like the spray with the clothes on because the smell comes through your clothes then all day. Now it'll get fainter. This is the red VB spray.
That's not the oils. That's just.
No, this is the aromatherapy oils.
Yeah.
Yes, it's got the oils in here.
Oh, it has as well.
Yes, yeah. Oh yes, we've already done it for you. So you don't have to think too much. You don't have to say which of the oils there or have I got those to test. They're all done for you, okay? So it's pretty predictive that you will find the same ones, these, all right, with emotional problems. Okay, you can go back down. So with the red one, it's mandarin, juniper, down there. Go back down. Yes, no, down, yes. Mandarin, juniper, sandalwood, lemongrass, and rose. So mixed together, what did you think about that?
I loved it.
He's loved it, yes. And so they like, but give this to what colour are you?
Red.
Red. Oh, that's all right for you. Okay, well, you like that,
Yeah.
but don't spray yourself yet.
I
Okay.
have to sniff it.
Oh, you want to sniff it? Okay. Yeah. No, I sprayed her down the front and her back. Yeah, I just sprayed her a few times down there and then sprayed her down her back, all right? They can do it themselves. We suggest at least 3. One on the face or the hair, one in here and one down there, and then see what you can do from around the back. It doesn't matter with the clothes on because the aroma comes through the clothes. It'll fade with time, but we have a nerve in our nose called cranial nerve 0, which picks up pheromones. Now, we've mostly lost the ability to consciously smell. And cranial nerve 0 is one which is responsible for picking up pheromones, okay? These are smells which we can't smell very easily, but animals can. Okay, an animal can smell fear a long way away. Okay? That's how animals work in the jungle. And they have long snouts and olfactory systems. And anatomists have dissected the olfactory nerve, which is cranial nerve 1. Okay? And this particular pathway of cranial nerve 1 goes further back in the medulla than the olfactory. So they measure the cranial nerves, or number them, from 1 to 12. So because it's before 1, it's much older than 1. It's very, very reptilian. And they couldn't call it cranial nerve 13, so they called it cranial nerve 0. Okay? Now, if you think I'm having you on, look it up in the computer. You know, I wouldn't have you on, would I? Trouble is, you believe everything I say, you see. But there is. If you look it up on... and this is what it is. But in humans, it's so small, but it still works. So we can sense things in a sort of unconscious, subconscious way, but we may not know why. Okay? And this is why you can pick up fear, anxieties and things in people without seeing them. Okay? You can feel them, and you know if someone's behind you who's like that. You know if someone else is in the room, isn't it? And if you turn around and you can't see anybody in the room, then you're really worried. Okay, so that's cranial nerve 0. So I think that's really how aromatherapy. Dr. Goodhart used to say exactly this, that aromatherapy oils were much, one of the best ways of treating people with unconscious or negative emotions. Flower remedies were much better for subconscious emotions, in other words, memories. So, I'm not going to say that's going to be 100%, and obviously it depends upon how you want to treat your patients, but generally speaking, think flower essence is much more for people with subconscious patternings, and aromatherapy oils for conscious, unconscious emotions. And these unconscious emotions could be self-generated, which most are, could be third-party, or could be collective. And so I've given you the options of how to treat this. Now let's go back. Okay, let's go back right to the beginning. Okay, your reflexes were all right, and the red acetate was the first thing that we could do. Pull, pull. So, good so far. Okay. Okay, she's got nothing on her, because Fatima, you're going to ask me in a minute what she got on her. She's got nothing. See? So now, we'll check the right brain, shall we? Was that which was the first one that you did?
Yes, that's right.
The right one. Yeah. Okay. So hum. Okay. And now count from Where do we get to? About 76 backwards now. 76 backwards in threes.
67.
Okay, so right, left's okay. And now do left and right there. Left to right. Emotions. And right to left. Okay, so you see we've done nothing else. I've taken everything off her, but we fixed her mind at the moment, all right? And by fixing her mind at the moment, she's cured herself. But it may not last, okay? So regular spraying is what she needs, okay? So 3 times a day, 4 times a day. Sometimes if you've got a third-party entity, you need to spray them as well. Okay, so sometimes it's a place in a house which has a negative, spray that, okay? If you can go around and you muscle test where in a house there's a bad atmosphere, and bad atmospheres hang on in places, particularly where there's water. So you can spray anywhere in the house, spray the dog, spray the family, all sorts of things. Whatever is causing you think is a negativity, give it a spray, okay? And spray yourself. So probably 3 times a day. Carry it in your bag, carry it in the car. A what? Free spray? Husband, yeah, oh yeah, husband, dog, cat, anything. Yeah, give them all the spray.
It's because the spray is specific for you, but if it is your husband, it might be, if it's a different entity, it could be...
Yeah, you're not spraying him, you're spraying, stop the energy from coming out of him into you. You're protecting yourself, this is what you're trying to do, yeah. So, Jill, you started spraying your dog when he misbehaved. He got a zapping. soon learnt. Here, take that.
Chris, at a previous seminar, you used the middle finger for the ears.
Did I?
Third for nostril.
Oh, right, okay. I think ears and eyes are all right. They're not 2 orifices. Don't take it seriously. You could use the little fingers and work backwards. But it's just hygiene, that's all, okay? Yeah, you can start with there and then do it that way sometimes. But I don't think there's any harm in those two. But up the nostrils and the mouth is a bit different. So, that's you done, basically. So what we've done here is we found she still needs to do the chemistry. Okay, but remember the chemistry is the chemistry with her, and the emotions are the emotions. The emotions will create the problems in the body, but the chemistry won't create the changes in the mind. That's that's different. Okay, but she can feel pretty lousy because we've discovered she's got parasites and she's vitamin C deficient. Okay, so there's lots of things that she's learned a lot about herself today, how to get herself right, and what to do as far as spraying herself and what were we had sex. Okay. Exercise, well that comes together, doesn't it? And deep massage, okay. And a trip to Ann Summers. Okay, that was the exercise, wasn't it? Okay. And love. Yes, yeah, preferably with love, that's it. But the love we can give in the spray.
And it's interesting because the love, because it's the original thing you picked up first, wasn't it?
Yes, the love is the fundamental.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the thing we didn't challenge you with. Okay, back. Let's just challenge her with the fun. I knew there was something else. Okay, it's for her to actually say, if you remember, I am lovable, isn't it? So, I am lovable.
I am lovable.
Good. Let's just check the other one as well. I am lovable.
I am lovable.
See, she can hold that beautifully now. Okay, we haven't really talked very much about that, but we don't need to. Okay, we just introduced it a little bit, and she's got something she can work on now, okay? And she's got, a program that she can go away with and get started on right away. Well, later on anyway. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So any, if we just go on from here, just to finish this off, in case any other issues come up with the unconscious. So, Candice Pert says the most abundant cell receptors in the human body are the opiate receptors, okay? And they are especially rich in the frontal cortex. That's our thinking centre there. And so she says we're literally hardwired for bliss or pleasure. so to how to naturally stimulate these endorphins, and she was really the discoverer of most of this work in her research, is exercise. Okay, this is the runner's high, if you like, that the exercise people do, they feel good. But it must be an exercise that they enjoy doing. If you were to run or swim, it wouldn't give you the same thrill as ice skating, obviously. But so we all have, the exercise which we enjoy. So never prescribe an exercise the person doesn't really enjoy. That won't stimulate endorphins. Deep massage, okay, releases the tension. Meditation, being with others, sex, particularly orgasm, and love. And remember that these information all goes in through the five senses. It's so simple, but people forget that. Everything you ever think about is something you've experienced. You must have seen it, heard it, tasted, or touched it, but it may not be within your conscious field of awareness because it may be way back, way back, okay, a long time ago. So therapy, we talked about that. Therapy, spray front and back of the body 3 times a day, or more often if required. If you need an affirmation comes up, and usually this will be, as I say, a negative emotion below 200. So it'll be those top 8 ones, if you like, or the bottom 8. So the affirmation there is, I truly want to release my unconscious emotion of, and then you state that guilt and blame, and replace it with the infinite power of love now and forever. So what you're doing is, I truly means I genuinely want to do this. Okay? Want to release, to let go, to forgive, whatever you want to say, but release is the best word we find. My unconscious emotion, because it's unconscious, you're not consciously thinking of that, of any of those 8 unconscious emotions, you say, and replace it with the infinite power of love, okay? Because remember, love is the cure for everything, all right? Now, because you want to do it now, and forever, because you don't want to come back tomorrow, okay? So you say that 20 times, or you try to say that 20 times, when you turn over to go to sleep. So as you go into that unconscious state, you will fall asleep saying that to yourself, okay? So don't do it before that, because you probably won't go to sleep. So when you're ready to turn over, most people lie on their back for a bit, and then they turn over to go to sleep. That's when you do it. So it's like a prayer, if you like. It's something you do, and you say, because what you're asking to is to release your nasty thoughts. Forgive us of our temptations. So you lie in bed there 20 times, and you do it for about 4 weeks. Now, I have a little chart, and again, that's on the web page, which has that with a little chart at the bottom of each one, with like a box, and you tick it off. So every time you've done it, you tick the box, okay? Because many times you won't do it. You start off with great gusto the first 2-3 nights, and then you think, now, did I do it last night, or did I not do it last night? So if you don't tick the box, you know you haven't done it, okay? So you tick the box, and when you've done it 30 times, you finish that, then you give the practitioner a ring, and then you can come back and be reassessed. Okay? But don't ring until you've done it 30 times, because you won't have cleared the you won't have cleared the negative emotion. Okay? Then you can come back, and then you can discover if there's another one. And there's usually, with most people, they go through a whole series of them. And very occasionally, the same ones come back again, because life deals you that blow, and you start thinking back into the past again. So sometimes the emotions you have to work on for long periods of time. Usually 4 weeks, or doing it, the repetition for 30 times is enough. But as I say, you can't positively say it will never come back. It can sometimes, but only if we let it. So that was the patient procedure, cross-extensor reflexes, constitutional colour, and harmonise if necessary. Find the yin-yang meridian by the left and right brain with the humming and the counting. You'll find that the causal one will be the second one, the effect will be the first one. Assess for the etiology, the cause of the effect one, which we're looking at with the eye positions, treat accordingly. So with Christine, what we did is we did cross-extensor reflexes. You found that you were red straight away, which was fine. And then we did the humming and the counting. We found that the counting was weakened. And then we looked at yes, that's right, it was the counting, because it was the yin, it was the spleen. We fixed that up with the vitamin C, and that's all she needed. We made sure, because we went back into hypoxia, wasn't it? Yeah. So we took her back into hypoxia eye mode. So that was the only one that negated the weakness of the spleen. And we went up and down again with the vitamin C on, and she stayed strong. Had it gone weak, we would look for something else as well. So we moved on. We re-challenged her with her counting, which was okay then. And then we tested the other brain with the humming, and she weakened to that. We found the meridian associated with that was the small intestine, because we knew it was a yang. We think, small intestine, let's see what comes up. So it was no big surprise to find it was a parasite. But it could have been anything. It could have been deficiency. I thought it might be just that you need a probiotic. You know, it could have been a deficiency. But on the other hand, it could be a toxin down there, or something you were swallowing or whatever. And it could be a mechanical problem. Again, many people got mechanical problems with their spine, and they need some form of spinal correction. It could be an allergy, something you're eating or drinking for sure. Less likely to be a deficiency of exercise, possibly a bit of dehydration. Huh? But the big surprise that came was the round and round one, wasn't it? You know, and bang, in it came. So if the round and round one is an immune system problem, go to the infectious diseases, virus, bacteria, parasite, fungus. We went through there, came up with parasite. So you would go from there then into looking if you've got kits with the different types of parasite families. There's no need, I don't think, to find the exact parasite. I don't think that's vitally important. But if you know, ideally, if it's a protozoa or sporozoa, usually liquids are better. And if it's a big boy, as we call them, and it's a cestode or a nematode or a trematode, then you're going to need something in powder form, a tablet, capsule, whatever it might be. But liquids will get absorbed high up, you see. Okay, so you probably need something to clean the gut out and detach them. So we opted here to clean the gut out there with the colon cleanse. So I think by scraping it clean, you know, hopefully you'll scrape the devils off the wall as you go along. Okay, so that's where we got to. Then we retested you for the right brain, and she was in harmony. And then we did the emotional, we did back to the subconscious, and then we did the emotional stress, okay? And she nearly got away with it all, nearly, okay? But we knew there was a problem because she failed the love test at the beginning. So we did the left to the right, she weakened to right to left, she was strong, okay? So we kept her in there, and then we verbalized and said, you know, what the best options are. And we can verbalize there because it's an emotional problem, so why not test her emotionally, you know, with some verbs or things, because at that level she'll understand what we're doing. And we gave her the options of which were the best ones. And so she wanted sex, spray, walk in the woods, no, it wasn't a walk in the woods, ice skating and deep massage, that's it, okay. So that was the options that will fulfill her, and then she'll feel lovable, okay. So she had a spray, and that's the thing. And the spray was more powerful than, you know, well, it's amazing, isn't it, the effect of the spray? Absolutely amazing. On their own, they may not have been as good, the aromatherapy, without all the other bits, the love frequencies, the gemstones and so on. But as a collection, it's dead easy to give the patient and teach them to spray it and to use it regularly 3 times or so a day. And they love doing it because it's so nice. Why not? Yeah. But remember, it's tailored to you. So the red one is for red people, okay? So if you're not red, don't spray yourself with that because you'll say, I'm not so keen on that one. Okay. So I think that's it. Oh, assess for the unconscious, yes, we did treat and spray. Okay, that was good. So now you can treat everybody when you get home. Okay.